Hello, Incredible One. Welcome to the Incredible Factor Business Podcast, the place to be to grow a business that shakes the planet. I'm your host, business growth coach, Darnyelle J. Harmon. Join me each week for inspiring stories, powerful interviews, and business growth strategy to help you experience abundance in your life because of your business. Oh, and one more thing. On this podcast, I'm going to keep it all the way real with you about the good, the bad, and the incredible of entrepreneurship. But don't worry, it's all for your good so that you can build a business that funds the life you crave. Let's jump into today's episode. Hello, Incredible One. Darnyelle here. Excited to welcome you to a bonus episode of the podcast. This episode is powered by the Breakthrough Tour, which is this March going to Atlanta, Washington, D.C., here in Delaware, and we just added Chicago. You can learn more about the Breakthrough Tour by visiting breakthroughinbusinessevent.com/tour. Okay. So I am responding to an assignment, if you will, from a new member of my team. I shared with you in a previous episode that one of the things that I'm going to be working on this year is telling my story more and letting all that it is that I do kind of hang out in my work. Like, I think it's easy when you are a business strategist and a business coach to rely on the things of business in your work, right? To point to the money that people are making, and our clients are making way more money than they ever thought was possible prior to working with me. But you know, I do so much more than help them make money. I am literally changing lives. And so what I've decided to do as bonus episodes is to sprinkle in some of the interviews that I'm holding with clients who've worked with me for multiple years to share about what their journey has been with me and how our work has led to changes in their life. So in this very, very first interview that I have for you, I'm going to introduce you to Tish Times, who is the CEO of Tish Times Networking and Sales. And she'll tell you more all about her. But I want you to listen in as Tish shares with you the biggest changes that occurred in her life as a result of working with me at Incredible Factor University. I know you're going to love this. And let's jump into the episode. Hello, Incredible Ones. Darnyelle Jervey Harmon here, and I am smiling this big smile because if you can't see that beauty sitting here with me, then something's wrong with you. But I'm excited to introduce you or present you, depending upon how familiar you may already be with this amazing, phenomenal woman, Tish Times. She and I are just going to have a conversation. Tish was a client many moons ago. We still have a tremendous relationship, and us working together ain't over yet. We are very actively in each other's lives. And as I've been doing with these videos, I just want to share some of my clients with you, highlight what has changed as a result of us having an opportunity to come into each other's spheres. So without further ado, beauty, Tish, tell everybody who you are in your own words.
Well, first of all, good morning and hello. I'm so glad to be here. I love hanging out with you. And my name is Tish Times. I am a networking and sales expert, and my goal is to help women to have more powerful sales conversations so that they can really have higher income, better revenue, and really enjoy their lives differently. So I'm just, you know, a lot of who I am and what I have become over the years is directly as a result of our work together. So I'm grateful for us to be here this morning.
Yeah, definitely. So let's jump into it. So how did we first meet? From your
So honestly, yeah, I mean, it's funny. A lot of people don't know this story. I was listening to another business coach's home study program. And there was people in the audience standing up, talking and saying various things. And I remember you standing up, me not knowing who you were, but listening to just the power in what you were saying and just the word you were speaking. And I was like, who is that? And I went and when you said your name, and I went and looked it up. And then I went on Facebook and Googled it, and I was like, who is that? I want to know who that is. And then I think I went and bought one of your programs, and then you immediately responded to me, and that's how our conversations kind of began. But yeah, I just heard you say something, and I was like, I want to know who is that woman, because what she said, I need.
Awesome. And I do remember that. I had forgotten, but now that you said it, it definitely reminds me of exactly what you're talking about. And so we had that initial conversation. I called you right away because you were purchasing the, I think it was the Magnetic Marketing Success Formula.
Yep. I still have it too. Yep.
You know what? It still works, right? I had someone like 2 weeks ago text me, I pulled this out, dusted it off, and oh my gosh, I closed 5 new clients. I'm like, yes.
Right? Yes.
So then we had that conversation, and you were like, yes, I want it. I want to work together. But then what happened?
Well, I had, for years really struggled with multiple things around, money and value and, all those types of things. So although I knew I intellectually, I knew I needed it, I wasn't ready to invest in myself at a level that I needed to. Mm-hmm. And so I had told you yes, but then I wouldn't talk to you. And I would talk to you and I'd say, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Okay. And then it was easily a year before I finally came to a place of saying, let's just do it. And I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? I wasn't like all this influx of money had come into my bank account and I was just financially ready. I just got to the end of at that time, I would say the end of what I would consider my failure. And I was just ready to make a leap into a different direction. And I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I finally said yes, but it took me a long time.
It was about a year for those of you who are listening. People ask me all the time because I tell the story about Tish all the time. And they're like, why did you keep following up? Because God told me to keep following up. And one thing I want you to know about me is I'm fully surrendered. I'm in obedience. And when he speaks, I listen. And because I know that having a business and having this business is not just about the dollars and cents. It's about the ripple effect to be able to shake the planet. And Tish was one of those souls that when we connected initially, I knew I was going to, whenever the time came, it was going to be a powerful partnership and alliance to move her life and business forward. And so I did every month. I mean, it got to the point where I called before I could say hello. She'd be like, hi, Darnyelle. I'm ready yet. And I'll be honest, like, I think part of the delay in us working together was my fault because I was unwilling to step in as powerfully as I should have as her potential coach, right? Today I sing the verse that coaches tell you what you don't want to hear and show you what you don't want to see so that they can help you to become who God created you to be. But when I first connected with Tish, I wasn't willing to tell her the truth, to be a pattern interrupt for her and to stop her cycle. And that's why it went on for a year. Because once she finally said yes, what happened, Tish?
Everything changed. Everything changed. I mean, literally, there's things we talk about, and because my husband and I also pastor a church, and we talk about how when we first said yes to God about moving to Phoenix from El Paso, Texas, we didn't have the money to move. We weren't ready financially to move. And I feel like at that time, and we always say, God opened the door for us to be able to literally pick up our entire life and move into a whole different state where we didn't know anybody. We didn't have anything. You know what I mean? We literally started from scratch. And that happened when we began to work together. You know what I mean? I found the courage to have the conversations I needed to have to be asking for 6-figure contracts instead of way lower. We know what I was initially charging.
And now don't need to know that. Just know that it got much.
Right. It got way bigger. But the thing was, literally everything changed. It may have seemed like it was a business conversation, but it really was, God was using it to shift our entire lives so that we could do the work of God that he's called us to do here in Phoenix. And we've been here for 5 years now. So it changed everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
And just to kind of let you guys behind the veil, like in 2 months and working together, she closed her first 6-figure contract. She had never made 6 figures in her business before. She had one client who gave her 6 figures for work she was already going to do that she would have charged way less for. So there's so much
Right.
power in aligning with mentorship. Someone who can see you greater than you can see yourself and hold the space for you until you can catch up. And that's what I really love about our relationship and connection. I always saw her as this amazing creature that she is. I mean, she's powerful. If you have a minute, go and Google her and check out her on a stage talking about her lane and what it is that she does. She'll blow your mind because she's really, really powerful. And that's the kind of women that I attract in my space. You know, I get to work with high achieving women of faith primarily, who really want to do work that changes the world, but they don't yet entirely see themselves the way that they need to in order to really go out there and shake the planet. And so, what else changed? Like, what was if you had to drill it down into the most powerful transformation that occurred as a result of us working together, what would you say?
Golly. I mean, some of what you said as far as me being able to see myself differently. And I'll say this, even when I've had moments where I've lost myself, because I have, you know, over the course, we started working, when we first connected, it was like 2013, you know, and we started working together in 2014, or maybe even 12 to 13, either way. But over the years, you know what I mean? I've had moments where I've kind of like lost sight of who I was because of a lot of what we did. I've been able to just come back and say, no, you know what? This is who I am, which allows me then to stand on a stage and help transform other people's lives. And that's what gets me. It's like truly that ripple effect. I think about being able to hire people in my business at that time for the first time, and lives that were changed as a result of that, being able to have programs with women who are to this day, their businesses have completely transformed, their sales processes transformed. And I know that I would not have been able to help impart that into them had I not received it for myself. And so the biggest transformation is really me being able to shift from seeing a value that was always there, but I wasn't necessarily able to, you know, to capture it for myself. You know, I don't know if it originated with you. I heard it first from you. You know, you can't see the picture when you're the frame. And I know for a long time, I just could not see it. And I had people around me who were trying. My husband is my first, you know, he's always saying, well, if Darnyelle says it, then you'll listen, because I've been telling you that for the longest time. But nevertheless, I think that's been the biggest transformation. It's my vision of myself, my value, accepting the value that I know God is already giving me, and then being able to take that and help transform other lives.
Yeah, I think that was so powerfully stated, because most people don't understand the impact of being able to see themselves or to have someone hold the space. Because I feel like that's really what I do. Like, the strategy is great. And, you know, maybe there's something in your process that needs refining, right? So that it runs smoother. But I feel like the biggest part of what I do is holding the space for you to catch up to the vision that I see. And I love that I have that prophetic gift, that I'm able to see that way and to be able to use that to help you to get there, right? And I think so many people are looking for something different, right? And which is why, you know, I say all the time now, it's less about strategy and it's more about surrender. It's more about the spiritual alignment stuff. It's more about connecting with God and seeing yourself differently, because that's what's going to give you the power to move the fear. Like, fear will never go away because it was created by your ego to lead you to believe that that's your safe place. But fear will take a back seat when you are able to show up powerfully, because you know who you are, you know whose you are, and you know what you're here to do. And so a lot of it is really helping people to find a container, if you will, about what that would be. So somebody might be watching and they might be like, you know what, I've been thinking about this Darnyelle girl. Like, oh, why would you encourage them to, at a minimum, have a conversation with me or a member of our team?
Because if it really comes down to that person's real desire. You know, I would say if you want to stay where you are and kind of dance around and look at someone on Facebook and maybe attend an event here or there, but really just stay where you are, then don't call. You know what I mean? Don't have the conversation. But if you're really ready to shift, you know, both basically whole life shift, then that would be what I would say. And I'll even say, because I know people see you on stage or hear you online, and you're very powerful in your delivery of the information. And for some people who aren't secure, it could be very intimidating.
Mhm.
And I will say to you, don't allow fear or intimidation to stop you from getting that transformation. Because the one thing that I know for sure about Darnyelle is this. She is a powerful woman, but her heart is so wide open. And it's in a place where she wants the very best for you, for your business, for your family. And I think if I had to, anything that I probably love about you, Darnyelle, more than anything else, all of the business stuff has been great, right? All of the mentorship in that arena has been fantastic. But most importantly, knowing your heart and knowing the desire that you have to see people's lives change and unwilling to let people stay where they are, that for me has been the biggest thing. So those who are like looking and saying, well, I think I might, maybe, stop it and just, take a chance to change your life. Because I know that's what's happened for me. I know that's what's happened for the people who are connected to me because of that. So stop waiting and just step in.
Yeah, that was good. You're going to try to make me cry over here, but you're right. Like
I'm trying not to.
I know, like I really do. Like when I say that this is my divine assignment, my divine mandate, that I told God, yes, I would do this work. Like, I think if there was one person that I never wanted to displease, it would be God, right? Like I always want to show up in a way that he gets the glory from my being there. And I'm happy that today I can say that boldly, because there was a point in time where you may have caught a glimpse of that was what it was, but I wouldn't come right out and say it because I was still dancing the separate church from state and all of that. And now I'm just kind of out with it because I'm like, whatever, like the business strategy is being in spiritual alignment. That's the strategy, and helping people to get that so that the things they already have begin to line up for them the way that they want, so that their life really does change. And for me, it's everything. Like, I don't think it makes any sense to be out here as a coach or a mentor and just be in it for yourself, for it to just be about collecting dollars and cents, right? But it has to be about collecting lives and the stories of the lives that you change. I recently we're in the process of doing a brand refresh. Like I love my name, so we're not changing the brand name or anything like that, but we're refreshing the presence of the brand. And so we're redoing the website. And so I sat down and I read all 100 and whatever testimonials we have on the website, which isn't even every testimonial, and we stopped putting them on there because we're like, people are going to be like, is this legit? It is all legit. But I sat and I was reading them, and I was in a puddle of tears when it was all said and done, because more than the testimonial saying, I made this amount of money, they said she changed my life. She made me more confident. Because of her, my marriage is better. Like the ripple effect of the reason we met was because of your business, right? But what we did together changed your life. And, for me to see you like just out there doing your thing, like it gives my heart the most immense amount of joy. Like, it's just like, that was my baby, it's like Mariah says, you'll always be my baby. And it's just like, it gives us just like a tremendous amount of appreciation for one another, that now, in addition to having the mentor to mentee relationship, we can also be girlfriends, right? Like, because we transcend it. Like, I can remember coming to Phoenix and staying in your home. Like, who does that? Yes. Who opens their home to their business coach, right? Like, and being able to hang out with you and your husband and feel like not awkward or weird or any of that, and knowing that I can call you and you'll pray with me, and you can call me and I'll pray with you. Like, it's about doing life together, right? And getting inside of a community that offers you an opportunity to do life together. And so it's been a true joy to do this work and to impact the lives the way that I have. So is there anything else that you would want to leave with anybody who may see this interview anywhere, anytime, anything at all?
No, I just want to say, to you, they'll hear it and I think be impacted by it. But to you, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for not giving up. I have probably a blog or an article somewhere where I wrote about the power of follow-up. And, I kind of mentioned the fact we think of follow-up in the sales process only, but it's like you don't realize how powerful relationships can be if you would just continue to pursue. And I'm so grateful that you didn't say that girl, she's not ready, and just give up, because where would my business be? Where would my life be had you kind of given up and not recognize the impact you were designed to make in my life and therefore allow me to make another. So thank you. I'm very grateful. And yes, I am looking forward to see what the future holds for our relationship and all its very multi-facets.
Awesome. Well, guys, there you have it. If you, as a result of this conversation, would love to see what it would be like to engage with me at a level that could bring change into every orifice of your life, I certainly welcome that. And all you need to do is to go to darnyelle.com/session, darnyelle.com/session. Thanks, guys. I'll see you again real soon. Take care. Thank you for joining me for the Incredible Factor Business Podcast. I'd love to help you grow a business that shakes the planet. Get started today by joining our exclusive community at sixfigurecashflowclub.com. And if you enjoyed our time together, do yourself a favor. Head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. Until next time, you deserve a business that funds the life you crave. Take care.